GoAugie.com here with head football coach Jerry Olszewski. Coach, kind of a new season here for your guys. You're moving into South Division play. What's the mentality of the team like heading into South Division play this week?
Well, that's exactly it. First quarter of the season's done, and we put ourselves 7-0 down. You know, we stumbled a little bit in those first 4 games like we didn't want to, but now everything starts over. It's the seed is in the ground. We're waiting for it to rain, and it's time to get going. And our kids are excited about the opportunities ahead of them. They realize that our destiny is in our own control at this point, but it's a one-game season, and we're playing a very good football team this Saturday, and we certainly have to get our mindset and fully wrapped around what Southwest is going to entertain and bring us.
Can you talk a little bit about the cohesiveness with your offense right now? It seems like a pretty well-oiled machine, both rushing game, passing game. How much does that start up front with that offensive line?
It's a huge part of it, and we had a big loss with Sammy going down, and obviously that changes up the mechanics a little bit of who we are and what we are, but next man up. We truly believe in that. We think we have a pretty well-balanced offense as far as run to pass, what we're doing with the ball, almost 50-50 across the board on downs and everything else, but the kids are really gelling. I had a great meeting this morning with Trey Hyde and just talked about where we see ourselves currently, where we see ourselves in the short term, and then even some long-term stuff, and just that continued development. But I love the relationships on that side of the ball, and we know our best is yet to come, and we're still striving for that excellence.
Talk a little bit just about how much that group has been together now since you've been here, developing together. How much does that help?
I think it's a huge part of it. This is our 3rd season together, and they know the ins and outs of what we're trying to do. They know how they're going to be coached. They know the specifics of the techniques that are necessary, and they know our scheme. So now it's just the trust, and that's a beautiful thing to watch as a football coach, watching the kids trust each other and just do your job, do your 1/11th to the success of the play. And when that happens, we're pretty efficient offense. When people don't try to do too much, and we think we have enough weapons to do it, and that offensive line is a prime example of that cohesion. Coach Bakulis does a great job with our young men, and they take some pride in their performance.
Talk a little bit about defense now. 7 takeaways in the first 4 games. Obviously not allowed a 100-yard rushing team all season long. Just talk a little bit about your defensive play heading into South Division play here.
Those are the 2 of the things that we love. We didn't take the ball away as much as we wanted to last year, and we certainly emphasized that in our offseason, and we've been better in that area, much, much better. We've always been good against the run since we established our defense here 2 years ago. We've been in the top 5 in the league every year, so really proud of what we're doing there. We realize that we got some deficiencies in the pass game, and now we got to work towards that and make sure we're the most balanced team, get off the field on 3rd down, and continue our great red zone defense.
We've seen a few other guys stepping up and making some big plays. First couple of weeks, Brandon Moore and Steve Miller obviously still doing their part, but guys like Jackson Rinda, Matt Wagner, and even on the front line there, Zach Richter. Talk about the guys stepping up on the defensive side of the ball.
It's an 11-man game, and different guys' numbers are called every week, and whoever that's going to be, you just do your job. But we feel pretty good about the depth that we're starting to form here now. We're still pretty young. You look at our defensive tackles primarily, other than Jamal. We're sophomore or younger across the board, so just our defense is very, very, very disciplined on the standpoint of, we're a gap-controlled defense. We're an understanding of where the ball's going, that we're passing it to somebody. I think there's a huge part of the next guy doing their part for us to be successful. Anybody tries to do too much and bad things happen. So I'm just pleased with the discipline that our kids have had. We need to get better at it in certain situations, but I think that this week will be a great week for us to bring it all together.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for taking the time, and good luck this week against Southwest.
Thanks so much, Timmy. Fight on.